Today we're going to talk about the ins and outs of drinking urine. My name is the real Larry King. I got my name back in, I guess it was 2020 when our dear friend passed away. So a little bit on my background. I retired in 2019 after 43 years teaching marketing at Fordham University in New York City, which gave me 43 summers to hitchhike around the United States, a lot of hitchhiking in South America, a little bit in China, Africa, and India. So I had, maybe I had too much time on my hands because oftentimes I would get in trouble. Okay. I come up with basically three reasons. The first is medicinal, and I will show you some videos of what's going on here in Colorado, Boulder, Colorado, where they got the Urine Institute. We will go to China, to Pyongyang, which is 3.5 hours out of Shanghai, where they, for centuries, the majority of the people in the town either drink urine or urine-soaked hard-boiled eggs. All right, so let's start with call him Father Sage, but no, it's Brother Sage. Let's start with Brother Sage, and let me give you just a preview because I'm going to try not to talk during the videos. So he talks about the benefits of it, and then he demonstrates it. And I must say, when he's drinking his urine, he's like a bar drinker. You know, I wouldn't want to be picking up the tab because this guy can really put it down. In addition to that, he gargles, okay? And I tip my hat to him because I just say he's the urine man as far as I'm concerned. He really is an advocate of drinking urine. Okay, so he also uses it to cleanse his eyes and his nose. Okay, so we will see that. Okay, so let's go to the video.
For some ancient cultures, it's a healing technique.
Modern advocates claim it can do everything from cure depression to whiten your teeth.
Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez spoke with a group in Boulder who says their lives were changed after starting this therapy.
You're staying present in your body.
Inside the quiet of his home, Brother Sage finds peace.
Take a deep breath in and release on the exhale.
He says his life improved 25 years ago after changing the emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical.
Breathing in the new creation from the Creator itself.
He's since written books on his findings and helps others lead a healthy lifestyle.
As you can see, this is my diet. I eat a lot of fruit. Papayas and mangoes and oranges and pears.
With one crucial drink that cannot be skipped.
You discover what this really is ultra-filtered blood plasma.
Or urine.
2 hours ago, good year. So when we take in this water, we honor it. We, some people say a little prayer or something. Just to acknowledge that something's about to shift in their body and in their mind.
Through urine therapy, Brother Sage will cleanse his eyes.
Open your eye, blink a couple times.
And rinse out his nose.
Not really rocket science.
Okay, well, that was interesting, and once again, I tip my hat. And as I understand it, they may have a UA in Boulder, which is Urine Anonymous, okay? The first step in it's a 12-step program, and the first step is that you're powerless over urine, and that you will turn your life and your will over to God. Okay, so that's powerful medicine. All right, so if people need it, they can get relief that way. But okay, let's move on to Pyongyang, China, and let me preview that video. Here, they not only do they drink urine and eat the eggs, but not from adults, okay? Adult urine is bad, they say, okay? Children's pee, especially little boys pee, okay? Now, why little boys? I think that's their tradition, of the Little Prince and how important the boy is and carrying it on. So I think that today they may be even, considering, little girls pee too. But at this point, when they collect it, they show at the little boys' school where they're collecting the urine, And then the lady who brings it to boil the eggs, I hope she's making more than minimum wage, because I think that's a tough job. She's poured it in, and she calls it liquid gold, okay? They even sell it on the internet. I don't know if it's on Amazon or not. It's certainly not in my shopping cart, but you can get it on the internet. It's very expensive. And for that reason, I hope that the parents of those children that are, peeing at the school, I hope they get a rebate on their tuition, because it is an expensive commodity, and they deserve a share, in my opinion. Okay?
In China, urine has a wide array of therapies. The pee from young children and babies is particularly sought after. From their youngest age, everything is done to enable toddlers to take a leak freely. You can even order urine from young boys on the internet. Such fluids can cost up to several €100 per glass. Those who don't like to drink it are free to eat hard-boiled eggs. In the city of Dongyang, near Shanghai, the pee of schoolchildren is used for boiling eggs. Guan takes the bus several times a day to retrieve the gold liquid.
This bucket contains 75 liters of urine, and we can cook 2 large saucepans of eggs.
Eggs cooked in urine are believed to have many virtues.
These eggs protect us from the summer heat wave and avoid insulation. He who has body injuries can eat them too. Our ancestors taught us to use boys' urine, not that of adults, which is bad. He who likes this can accept the taste. It's a little salty, definitely tastes of urine.
Well, that was interesting and enlightening. So we see that there's a long tradition of drinking urine, okay? So I guess it must not be that bad, but we won't get into that here. All right, let's talk about necessity. You can only go so long without water. We know that. But most people would be wondering, to set the stage for this story, how did I get stuck on a cliff at Lake Powell with my nephew and 3 dogs and no rope and very little water? Okay, how did that happen? Well, obviously stupidity, okay? But let me just show you how that happened. Let me set the stage, okay? We're planning the summer. We're going to go cliff jumping, me and my nephew Pete, who's in Minnesota. Okay, I got 2 dogs. He's got 1. So my Australian Shepherd named Dusty, I shipped her to Boulder to be bred. So she's in Boulder waiting for us. So I hitchhiked to Minnesota with Susie, my dog, and pick up my nephew and his dog, which is also named Susie, which I assume is, a tribute to his uncle. At least I hope that's the case. And we hitchhiked on out. We picked up Dusty. So now we're hitchhiking 3 dogs, 2 people. And the people that pick us up would say the reason they picked us up was because they knew no one would pick us up, and that you have to be a good person if you've got all those dogs. So I don't know about that. But okay, so we get almost to Lake Powell. At a town, Green River, Utah, in the desert, and we're stuck. Okay, whole day, no rides. Fortunately, this lady brings some bottled water. That was good, cold. Next day, no ride. She comes by again and says, not for anything, but my husband has a business where he flies out rafters that go down the Green River into Lake Powell, and he flies in empty. Well, we talked with him, and so he charged us $25 a piece, so $50 for 2 people, 2 packs, and 3 dogs. And we had to balance everything because it was a very small plane, okay? So we landed at this little teeny dirt airstrip, and we walked down to the marina where I put up a sign and said, we need a ride up the lake, okay? So soon a guy comes over and says, well, where are you going up the lake? And I said, well, we're looking for a place to go cliff jumping. And so he said, okay, well, I'll take you up there. There's all kinds of places. So up we go, and we saw this beautiful little place, but it was in this inlet with the sheer walls. So we drive up in there, and that's where we got out to do the cliff jumping, okay? And we figured, well, we would just walk over the rocks, this little mountain, and to the lake, and that's how we would get home, because we didn't want to swim out with the packs and the dogs, and Okay, so here we are. We had 5 days of camping, cooking, and a lot of cliff jumping. And here's a picture my nephew took with his Instamatic, and so it shows that you get that adrenaline rush, okay? So, in fact, when I'm standing there, even at 20 feet, definitely 30 feet, I can't just jump off. I have to get a run, and I usually scream something. And then when I'm coming out of the water, it's like, oh, I want to do it again. But when you get up there, it's at an adrenaline rush, okay? So we're done with this. We pack everything up, and we start over the mountain, slide down to this cliff, where it turned out we couldn't get back up, and it was a 30-foot drop, which we didn't want to jump, okay, no water. So I got the idea. I had some string, some heavy twine and stuff. I thought maybe I can let my sister's boy down to go for help, all right, which is what I did. All right, so, but the string breaks, he bangs up his ankle, and he hobbles off to get help. So all that day, another day, no water. Okay, so woo, I'm getting there, and so basically you start thinking, I want something. So I tried to eat leaves. They got these little shrubs, on the cliff, and I never met a plant that I liked. Okay, they just coat your mouth with this bitterness, and it's like, oh, and then you got no water to get rid of it, and you're going, oh, why did I do that? That's horrible. All right. On the other hand, I never met an insect that I didn't like, whether it's a fly or any other little insect. They taste neutral, and obviously they're protein. You get a little juice there. So I do recommend insects, but I don't recommend plants unless it's something that and most of the time you can't eat them. All right, so and I start thinking about the urine, okay, and it's a thought. It just kind of keeps growing on you. Part of you saying, no way, and another part saying, what are you going to do? So I ended up peeing in a cup, and of course you're dehydrated, so it's dark, and I drank it. Okay, I can't remember if I held my nose or not, but that's one of the tips I'll give at the end. I would suggest that. All right. Now the story switches, okay? I'm sitting there waiting for help, but then I think maybe he can't get out, and I need to get out to rescue him. Okay, so, Henry Ford used to say, if a man can or can't do something, either way he's right, okay? Which means if you think you can't do something, well, that's preventing you from doing it. So I couldn't get down. Now I have to get down, and I was down in about an hour. Okay. How? Well, I didn't jump, but I tied my tent to my rain fly, to my sleeping bag, to my jeans, to my shirts, to my socks, to my shoelaces, and that took me down probably 20 feet. And then I dropped into this bush, banged up a little bit, not bad. I was down. I left a note. I'm down off the cliff in case Pete came back with help. And I'm heading for the lake, which I did, and I drank, and I built my fire, and I put my grass on it, and the smoke comes up, and this boat comes right over and just comes right up on the sand, and before it even stops, it's saying, "Are you Larry?" I said, "Yes," and they said, "Well, the Rangers are looking for you." So, at any rate, we head back to the ranger station, and on the way, this lady, she brings out she says, "Would you like a cold soda?" Okay, and she hands it to me. I just burst into tears. It was like Castaway. It's like you're holding in all this stuff, and all of a sudden, it was quite emotional. I can't explain exactly why. But so at the ranger station, we rented a boat. We borrowed a rope from the chief ranger there, who was really nice to us, and we go back. So I climb up, and I go back the same route, except this time I've got a rope, and I got water, and so I let the dogs down one by one. We actually had an inner tube that we put around their stomach, which I think that was pretty smart. Let them down, and we took them we gave them something to drink. Of course, they were dying of thirst. So, And we ended up getting back, I made it back to New York City, and I started teaching in the fall. I forgot that Dusty had been bred. I literally did. So at night, I would go down to Times Square on the subway with my dog, and I would shoot Missile Command. I don't know if anybody's old enough to know, that's one of the first video games. I didn't play a lot of video games, but I got pretty good at Missile Command, and so I'm playing it, and this attendant comes out and says, your dog messed, so you got to clean it up. So I can't remember. I probably finished my video game because, you know, you want to get your score. And then I leaned down to clean it up, and was it a poop? No, it was not a poop. It was a puppy. Okay, it was a blue merle puppy. Okay, so I put it in my jacket. I put the dog in the duffel bag. We took the subway back home, and pretty much all night long, she had 11 more puppies for a total of 12. Okay, a friend of mine took a picture of me basically getting to know one of the pups, and it's a joy. Normally when you buy a dog, a puppy, you have to wait till they're 8 weeks. Okay, so you don't really get that little teeny baby, you know, just born, but they're precious. And so we had a great litter, and they all got hopefully good homes when I sold them. Okay. So that's the end of the story, and just an appendix. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm drinking urine. This is iced tea, but I must admit, every time, you know, I look at it, it does bring back memories, and so I don't drink urine myself. I don't recommend it, but I do like iced tea. Okay, so I hope you liked the video. I don't have any likes, I don't have any subscriptions, so if you're the first one, I will be ecstatic. So help me out if you can.